All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, I'm going to be tier ranking every 2025 NBA playoff series, putting them on a scale from S to F in terms of how entertaining these playoff series were. We're going to do that here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, doing all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. And yeah, don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So here we are. We have every playoff series right here from first round to the finals and a tier rank of S, A, B, C, and F. And this is all kind of like more personal rankings. Let me know down in the comment section below what you feel about these certain series. And yeah, so we'll start with the first round. Heat Cavs. This was a sweep. Cavs won by like 40 in game 4. This was an F. Like, even though the Cavs are my favorite team, I didn't really pay attention too much to this series, to be honest. Like, there was a lot more better series to watch. Just no, I mean, I think game 1 was the only kind of like close game because the Cavs couldn't like really put Miami away. Miami kept it around to the early fourth quarter, and then I think Donovan Mitchell and Ty Jerome went off in the fourth quarter. So like, yeah, this was an F tier. This wasn't really a super entertaining series at all. You know, Magic and Celtics. This was a 5-game series. This actually was a lot closer of a series than expected. You know, Orlando kept around for a lot in this series. Uh, it still kind of was like a. Mm, it wasn't really that entertaining, even though they were close games. It wasn't like fun. It was more of like a gritty. Both teams missing a lot of shots, 85 to 78 type of close games. It wasn't really that. I'll put it in F tier, I guess, as well. I think it's better than the Cleveland Miami series because it was more competitive, but it wasn't really like a super fun series. You have to be like, dang, I gotta go watch Celtics Magic. You know, like it was kind of the one that I was on. It was like, okay, it's close, but it wasn't really something that was like super, entertaining. So that one goes in F as well. Pistons and Knicks. Pistons and Knicks was a very, very fun series. It's at least an A. Does it go in S tier? Does it, I mean, yeah, a lot of. I think this might have been like the closest series of the playoffs potentially. So, like, I think this might be the closest series of the playoffs. It was very entertaining, very competitive. You know, like Jalen Brunson had that closeout game 6. That was awesome. The Pistons come out win game 5. It went from. It was a very good series, man. Even they had that game 3 or game 4 where the Pistons, Tim Hardaway should have got fouled in that corner 3, but didn't, and the Knicks won that game. Um, it's at least an A. Does it go S tier? I'm trying to think of what series I would put above this one. And mm, I'll put I'll put it in A. I'll put it in A for now. Maybe it'll move up to S later down the line. But I think it was a really fun series. Pacers and Bucks. The only thing really carrying this series is that game 5, where the overtime game, where Halliburton took over in overtime and the Bucks blew that lead. Besides that, there wasn't really I mean, it's a 5-game series. It wasn't really that competitive. The Bucks only won game 3 or game 4 because Gary Trent Jr. dropped like 30 randomly. But it wasn't really a super like where the games weren't really that close. Besides like game 5, really. I'll put it in C tier because it was just like eh. I mean, you had one good moment. You had Giannis going off for some performances, but it wasn't really like a super fun series. I think it'll go C. OKC Memphis first round. This was another sweep. OKC dominated this series. The only real moment was game 3 where OKC was down 30 and came back and won that game. But besides that, there wasn't really anything else. This was another F tier. Another one that was kind of like, it was on, but it wasn't super like a, nay, I gotta go watch Thunder Grizzlies. It was more of just like a, like whatever type of series. So it'll go in F tier. Maybe it moves up to C. I think it's more entertaining than both the East first round series. Maybe. But it was more entertaining than Cleveland, Miami. You could make an argument between them and Boston, Orlando, but it's still kind of in the same range, though. Golden State, Houston. This was a 7-game series. You had some solid moments. You had some Steph moments. You had the Rockets showing up. I went to a game 7. The Rockets are 1 win away. It was a very tough, very gritty, competitive series. It wasn't super fun in terms of like high scoring, crazy moments, but it was like a competitive, really tough series. I think I'll put it in B. I think it's a good B tier. Like it's not amazing, but it's also not bad at all. It's kind of just like it's a good series. Where it was competitive. You had some good games in it. It wasn't the most fun play style wise, but you still had star players do their thing. So I think B tier is good. Lakers Timberwolves. This is a 5-game series, I think it was. Yeah, the Anthony Edwards game 4 was dominant. Luka and LeBron had some good moments. Rudy Gobert game 5. I think this is between a B and a C because it doesn't have the competitiveness of Warriors Rockets, but it was still you still had good moments in this series though. You had like Anthony Edwards game 4 to go up 3-1. That was dominant. You had the Rudy Gobert game 5, where he closed out. You had the first 3 games. Well, game 1, Minnesota dominated. Game 2, the Lakers came out and smacked the game. Game 3 was game 3 close? I think game 3 was kind of close, and game 4 was really good. Game 5 was kind of competitive as well. I think it's more entertaining than Bucks Pacers. It's more entertaining than that series. But is it? I will go with it being. It's like a B minus C plus. I would say it's like in between these two. I would say, but I would put it in. I'll put it in B because I enjoyed watching this series. I enjoyed watching the series even though it was a like a 5-gamer. It was close, but I'll put it in B for now. Again, we can always go back and change things up though. Clippers Nuggets. This is another 7-game series. You had some really good moments. I mean, you had game 1 was amazing. You had the Aaron Gordon put back. I think in game 3, game 2 Kawhi went off. I think there wasn't there another moment in this series. I think there's another moment in this series, like game 5 or game 6, where Jokic was amazing. But then unfortunately the game 7 was a big blowout. But overall, I think it's still an A. I still really like the series. It was really competitive. It was kind of like it was a chess match. It was back and forth. Every game was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Every other game, it was really competitive and really good. You had Jokic doing his thing. Aaron Gordon had his moments in this series. Kawhi Leonard had his moments in this series. Like it was a really fun series, honestly. Even though the ending was not good at all, the series itself was still really good. So I'll put it in A tier as well. Cavs Pacers. These are the second round series now. Cavs Pacers, another 5-game series. Pacers came out, did good in game 1. Game 2 was the Halliburton game where the Cavs are up 20. Donovan Mitchell had like 48 or 45. Pacers come back and win that game. Game 3, the Cavs win. Game 4, the Pacers actually destroyed them. And game 5 was another comeback. Wasn't really a super fun series. Like, you had some fun moments. Like, the Halliburton game was really fun. But besides that, wasn't really much. So I could put it in C. It was just kind of average. Like, the Pacers made it fun, obviously. But in terms of an overall series, it just wasn't really that, super amazing. Knicks Celtics. This was a pretty good series. Knicks Celtics. You had game 1 and game 2 where the Knicks came back from down 20 twice. You had game 6 the Knicks did good in. You had the Jason Tatum injury, unfortunately, in game 4. The Celtics coming out dominating game 5. This was a decent. It's between an A and a B because the first 2 games of this series make it so amazing. After that, I don't think we got a really competitive game from between game 3 and game. Oh no, game 4 was competitive until Jason Tatum got hurt, and then that kind of put it away. But besides that, we didn't even get other competitive games. But those 2 games were so insane, and the upset also carries a lot of weight. I feel like to it, which makes me maybe want to push it into an A because it was an upset and it was something no one really expected to happen. So, do I put it in A tier? I might put it. You know what? I'm gonna put it in B. I'm gonna put it in B tier for now because I think the other Knicks series is gonna go in A. So I'll put Knicks Celtics in B for now. But again, we can always go back and change. Thunder Nuggets, another 7-game series. This was very back and forth. You had the game 1 where the Nuggets stole that one in game 1. I think you had game 3 where the Nuggets won. Game 4 where the Thunder won a close one. A game 5, but despite Jokic going nuts, the Thunder still won that game. The game OKC dominated game 7. You had some competitive moments. You had some fun moments in that series. You had Shai's games. You had J-Dub game 7 or game 6 and game 7, I think. No, it was J-Dub's game 7. You got Jokic doing amazing things, Aaron Gordon doing his thing. It was another kind of like a chess match every other game. We had competitive games. That game 1 was competitive. Game 3, I think, was competitive. Game 4 is competitive. Game 5 was competitive. So most of the games of this series were competitive. It got to a game 7. I would put it. I'll put it A tier. I really enjoy it. I think this was a very enjoyable series for me to watch. Even though, again, the game 7 was a blowout, which I think basically every game 7 this year was a kind of a waste. Well, not a waste, but kind of like a disappointment. Every game 7 was kind of like either a blowout or which just wasn't really that fun. But if you just take the entirety of the series, I think I enjoyed watching Thunder. That's me. Like, when I look back at that series, do I enjoy it? And I do enjoy OKC Denver. Like, watching the games, the comebacks, the fourth quarter execution on both sides, the Thunder starting to figure out Denver. Jokic's game 5 was insane. Like, you just saw a lot of great moments in this series, a lot of competitive back and forth chess match basketball. So I think A is a good one for this. Timberwolves Warriors. I'll put this in C. It wasn't really that competitive at all. You had, I think, we had one competitive game, maybe two, but besides that, there wasn't really much going on. Steph gets hurt in game 1, and that really derails this entire series. If Steph plays in the series, it's probably an A tier series, but without Steph, it just looked like Minnesota was just gonna run through them, and they kind of did. So it'll be a C. It wasn't really that competitive. I don't really have a lot of memories of this series at all. Honestly, it might even go F. I don't have any memory of this series at all. Like, I don't, at least for even like OKC Memphis, I remember the game 3 where OKC came back and won. Like, I don't have any memories of Minnesota Golden State. So I think it'll go in F tier because it was like the least. As soon as Steph got hurt, I kind of like lost. I checked out of that series. I was like, all right, this isn't gonna. Well, okay, this isn't gonna work. All right, conference finals. Knicks Pacers. I'm playing this one in A. The game 1 was incredible. You had that. Even the game 3, I think, was also a comeback win by the Knicks. You had Halliburton's, I think, elite game 4. Tyrese Halliburton's game 4 is elite. Was it game 4 or was that game 6 to close out? No, I think that was game 4. I think you had some really good moments in this series. I think it was really enjoyable to watch. It was a lot. Again, the comebacks, the Knicks and Pacers both. The Knicks played just a really crazy playoff series, I guess, this year. I'll put an A because when I look back at that series, I'm like, yeah, that was really fun to watch. That was a really good series. I would watch that series again over these couple series. So I'll put an A. Thunder Timberwolves. This one was kind of like I mean, let's see. What are the good games? I think game. What? Game 3? Game 3, Minnesota. There's only one good game in this series, and that was game 4. When OKC, when Minnesota should have won that game, but OKC's big 3, Chet, J-Dub, and Shea all had really good games, and they won it by themselves. But besides that, I don't think there was any other like good game. I think either game 1 or game 2 was like kind of close at some point, but and game 5 also was like kind of close at certain points, but there wasn't really any like super fun moments in this series. So I put it in C because after like game 1 and game 2, everyone kind of knew that OKC was gonna win this series, so it wasn't really fun. And then Pacers Thunder, that one goes in S tier. That was definitely the best series of the playoffs. One of the most fun final series we've seen in a very long time. I mean, besides the game 7 unfortunate ending where Halliburton getting injured, it was a fun series. I mean, a series that coming into it, no one had any expectations. Like, everyone thought, okay, OKC's gonna win in 5. Indiana might have a game or two, but no one expected anything in this series. And for us to get a 7-game like banger, but it was like really close. Like, there was a point where we were like, dang, the Pacers are actually gonna win this series and beat the Thunder. Like, very close competitive games. You had, I think, Shea has some good performances. J-Dub has some good performances. Tyrese has some big games. Pascal has some good moments. Like, it was just like this was like the definition of like a chess match basketball, where it was like, all right, you got this. All right, we're coming back with this. And it was like adjustments. It was TJ McConnell in this series was so fun to watch. The defense on both sides, like, it was just every game. I don't think, did we have like a blowout? I think game 6 was a blowout. Game 2 and game 6, I think, were blowouts. Where game 2, OKC dominated. Game 6, Indiana dominated at home. But besides that, I think all the other 5 games in the series, well, game 7, the second half, OKC started to run away with it. But we had like 4.5 like really competitive games and really good final series. Like that game one was iconic. Just so many great moments. Again, the ending really sucks. The Halliburton injury really takes a life out of you. But looking at the series in general, it was one of the funnest final series we've gotten in a pretty long time. So that goes S. But yeah, anything I want to change? Um, hmm. Pacers Thunder stays at S. I think Knicks Pistons stay A. I'm keeping Clippers Nuggets up here. The only thing maybe I would change. Would I change Knicks Pacers? I'm trying to think. No, I would keep it. I'll keep that. B tier. Mm, I might move Knicks Celtics up because I mean the first two games were so crazy in that series, and it was still competitive despite like besides the first two games. I don't think there's any other like really close games besides game 4 ish. But it was still a really fun series though. Like I'm moving Knicks Celtics up to A. I think the Knicks had all good series. I think it was really looking at this compared to these two series. I like Knicks Celtics a lot more than these two series. And then yeah, I feel like I'm good with everything else here. So these are my playoff series rankings in terms of entertainment. So Pacers Thunder S tier, Knicks Pistons first round, Clippers Nuggets first round, Thunder Nuggets second round, Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks Celtics second round, all A tier. Warriors Rockets first round, Lakers Timberwolves first round, B tier. Pacers Bucks first round, Cavs Pacers second round, Thunder Wolves Western Conference Finals, C tier, then F tier. Heat Cavs first round, Celtics Magic first round, Thunder Grizzlies first round, Timberwolves Warriors second round. Let me know down in the comment section below how you feel about these certain series, what series you would have ranked higher, ranked lower, all that stuff. And yeah, I think we had a really good playoffs. I mean, we had some fun moments. All these I mean, look at all these A tier series. I mean, the A tier having the most series in it shows that it was a really fun playoffs. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, doing stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.